Here is our Kilimanjaro training advice based on our experience leading over 40 Kilimanjaro climbs and conquering Mount Everest. Kilimanjaro will be easy for some people and considerably tougher for others, depending on your altitude and level of hiking experience. The secrets of achievement. Here are some of the things that must occur for Kilimanjaro to be successful. First and foremost, acclimatization, or the number of days spent on Mount Kilimanjaro, is the primary factor in success. For more details and an itinerary on climbing Kilimanjaro in 8 days using the Lemosho route with Kosovo Camp as high camp, visit our page. You have nothing if you are not acclimated. After climbing Kilimanjaro in 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 days, this is the second step. I strongly advise staying on the mountain for at least 8 days, with Kosovo Camp 16,000 feet serving as your high camp. Additionally, I suggest using the Northern Circuit or Lemosho route. Thirdly, you must have direct access to Kilimanjaro climbers themselves. We are fully aware of how to get ready for success and safety. Get a fitness test as the first step. Do I need to take a fitness test to climb? Any climbing excursion should, of course, include a fitness test. If you are thinking of going on a climbing excursion, you should first speak with your doctor to seek their approval before increasing your training or putting additional strain on your body. Second, to determine your present level of fitness, take a personal fitness test. Thirdly, you may determine the precise heart rates at which you should train based on the fitness test results. In conclusion, begin outlining your strategy for training and preparation. Examine the technical abilities required for the adventure of your choice. You then begin to advance and expand upon your training. Recognize the heart rate zones. You may train specifically for your mountain adventure by using heart rate zones. We advise taking a VO2 max test if you intend to climb a peak higher than 6,000 meters, 20,000 feet. You can increase your chances of success by creating a training plan with the help of this exam. Similarly, this will also help you gauge your performance. Therefore, we do believe that you should have a climbing fitness exam. There will be 5 distinct heart rate zones, each unique to you. You will train more effectively if you use these training zones. Consequently, you want to obtain an active metabolic evaluation and modify your training to fit your mountain ascent. The second step is to comprehend heart rate training. It's crucial to comprehend heart rate zones when training for trekking. To determine the upper and lower limits of your training, it is worthwhile to get regular fitness tests, a VO2 max test, and a lactic threshold test if you have decided to intensify your preparation for your multi-day trekking or climbing excursion. Be particular about your instruction. You're attempting to figure out how to maximize your training, and it's crucial to perform highly specialized training in various training zones to enhance your strength, endurance, and aerobic and anaerobic training for your selected trip. Knowing which training zone you should be in is crucial as you increase your level of fitness to the ideal degree. When you exercise, your body needs fuel to burn. You should train both aerobically and anaerobically when hiking or using a stepmaster. This will help you burn fat and carbs. It's critical to realize that at most exercise intensities, your body burns both fat and carbohydrates simultaneously. Keep in mind that the majority of your training should be conducted in the anaerobic and aerobic zones. You may get a general idea of these heart rates for your age from the above chart. Therefore, the majority of your workout should be done at 60% to 80% of your maximum heart rate. Because your maximum heart rate decreases with age, you must increase your training as you get older if you plan to trek in low oxygen regions. Increased resistance training is crucial since muscle strength declines with age. Which range is best for training? You should train in your aerobic exercise training zone, which is between 40% and 80% of your maximal heart rate for trekking and endurance-based sports. Training near 65 will increase your endurance capacity more quickly than training at 8%. Instead of beginning your training at 8% of your maximal heart rate, you should increase gradually. You should begin your training at 40% to 50% of your maximal heart rate and gradually increase from there, depending on your particular fitness test and VO2 max test results. This is difficult to predict and will rely on many different things. Some of the deciding factors are as follows. Age. Present fitness level. Present weight. You want to go on a multi-day mountaineering or hiking trip. What matters is that you must begin the particular instruction. To reach your goal level of fitness, start as fast as you can and work your way up gradually. By preparing your body for the unique anaerobic demands of the event, such as when you need to exert more effort on the headwall on Island Peak or increase intensity for a steep hill, anaerobic training like intervals and speed work can help you improve your time or perform at your best in an event like a 10K run or a 20-mile hike. You shouldn't rely on this kind of training as your main source. The bulk of your training, about 80% of it, should simulate the kind of effort you'll be putting in on the journey. Being in the proper zone during training. Where should I begin? Aerobic training is the ideal starting point. Start at the bottom of your aerobic training spectrum or the very bottom of your capacity. Let's say 50%, and as you work out, your heart and muscles will adjust to the higher stress levels. You should gradually raise your intensity. A person getting up from the couch, for instance, might begin at half of their maximal heart rate. 4 weeks of staying at that level, followed by a steady increase to 55% for the following month, and so forth. Gaining the capacity to work continuously for extended periods at higher heart rates. That's what you want. Over time, your body will adjust to the elevated stress levels. For this reason, you should conduct lengthier training sessions once a week. You can determine whether you need to extend the time and sessions you are doing by going on a longer hike. Training heart rate zones provide a measurable way to direct exercise. For your safety, you should adhere to them as they establish the intensity of your workouts. We strongly advise obtaining a VO2 max test. Knowing heart rate zones to help you train for trekking. Employ a heart rate monitor. You should use a device to track your heart rate while you are training. To help you ensure that you are training at the proper heart rate, it will provide you with real-time data. Over the last 10 years, they have gained a lot of popularity. To find out if they are in the right training zone, many athletes utilize heart rate monitors during their workouts. We strongly advise using this tool to prepare for your hike and expedition. The typical heart rate monitor consists of a wristwatch with a receiver and a strap with a transmitter that you wear around your chest. During activity, the chest transmitter measures your heart rate and transmits the information to the wristwatch display so you can see it. High-end watches and gadgets that can transfer the full workout to your computer are available for purchase. In your training zone, some alarms alert you when you go too high or too low. Invest in the entry-level model that simply measures your heart rate to go minimalist. Timex, Nike, and Polar. These 3 respectable businesses are the only ones that produce heart rate monitors. Begin your downhill training. It's much easier to prepare for uphill hiking, but what goes up must come down. To hike downhill, you need to prepare your body, especially your knees. It may take 3 to 9 months to include sport-specific training into your training regimen, depending on the trip and your current level of fitness. Downhill hiking training is a crucial tactic that shouldn't be disregarded. To maintain healthy knees and muscles throughout the year, try putting the exercises below into practice. As your trekking trip departure date approaches, you can progressively increase the repetitions. Strength is developed by slow movement or prolonged stress. A variety of exercises should be included in your strength building plan to increase your entire leg strength from your hips to your ankles. Training in the gym. Here are some tips for trekking-related gym training. Since there is never a one-size-fits-all approach to training, it is crucial to consult a specialist. You ought to think about obtaining a fitness evaluation. For larger adventures, think about doing a VO2 max test and creating a program specifically tailored to your findings. You should also think about how long it will take to get certain results. Weekly amount of time spent in the gym. Depending on your journey, you should be exercising 6 to 10 hours a week if you are preparing for a 1 or 2 week expedition. Training in the gym is crucial because it complements your lengthier weekly hike. It will be crucial to spend an hour or 1.5 hours walking uphill on the Stairmaster and a treadmill with a 30-degree slope. Spend an hour riding a bike with resistance, then spend at least an hour on the Stairmaster. Later on, you can incorporate interval and weight training to develop the particular conditioning needed for hills and strengthen your core. Training in the base phase. For instance, begin by stretching before spending 30 minutes in your Zone 2 5 days a week. After you're stronger, extend the duration until you've been in Zone 2 for 45 or an hour. Before continuing, you should spend up to an hour in Zone 2, depending on the adventure you have selected. Halfway through this period, you should add weight to your bag. Your chosen trip will determine how much weight you carry. Training for the build phase. The second stage of training, known as the build phase, gives each workout a more event-specific focus and places more emphasis on increasing the weekly stress load by using the Stairmaster more heavily. Increasing the amount of time and weight you carry during this phase is the aim. During this phase, you should spend the majority of your training in Zones 2 and 3. Training in the peak phase. You will continue to use the Stairmaster for all of your strength, endurance, and cardio workouts during the peak phase. You will also incorporate 1 or 2 quick, brief workouts. Your aerobic capacity will rise as a result of these exercises, which also put your body through more stress at high elevations. Your lactate threshold should rise as a result, enabling you to work out for extended lengths of time. It's also critical to gradually add more weight. Don't add speed, add weight. Training for stability and core. Training for core stability is essential for balance and up and down hill mobility. Stability is crucial when hiking, especially when going downhill. You have more control over how this part of your body moves and positions itself if you have strong core stability. Trekking and mountaineering often involve the center of the body, include the floor bridge, chest press, one-leg cable work, side planks, and planks in your regimen. Endurance training. The secret is to go slow and long. Your body will be better able to handle hours of activity if you maintain a steady heart rate. My current Zone 2 heart rate is between 125 and 135, and my Zone 3 heart rate is between 140 and 130. I don't want my heart rate to get above 130 while trekking to Everest or Kilimanjaro. I want to confirm that I can sustain a heart rate of 145 for 1 hour and 30 minutes following my base phase of training. We will be walking for hours on any multi-day trek or expedition, so you must simulate this during your preparation. Read about how we approached Kilimanjaro's summit night, for instance. After an hour of hiking uphill, you will take a brief break and resume the process for at least 6 hours. Has this been a part of your training? If you're considering climbing Kilimanjaro, you should be. Can you hike for 4 or more hours? Most itineraries involve days, even consecutive days, where you hike for more than 6 hours, depending on the trip you sign up for. To prepare for a trekking excursion, you should be ready to hike in the hills for 4 to 8 hours or more with a backpack. Starting with 2-hour treks, working your way up to 3 and 4-hour excursions, and undertaking back-to-back hikes totaling 1,000 meters of elevation gain up and down during the peak training phase is the key to success. Once more, this is dependent on the vacation you select. Some journeys will take less training than this, while others will require more. Get ready for the climb mentally. Your chances of completing a successful summit ascent will also be greatly impacted by your mental readiness. Your ability to withstand the stress and pressure on your body will improve if you gradually push the boundaries of your physical exercise. Become accustomed to your sleeping bag, air mattress, and equipment. Spend some time camping if you're not used to it so you can become more accustomed to sleeping outside. Be accustomed to utilizing each piece of equipment and test it out. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe to Summit Kilimanjaro for more videos. See you next time.